Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Adam.
And I'm Liberty.
Welcome to Geeks.
Gadgets.
And guns.
Woo! I swear
Okay.
my guns reflex wasn't kicking in there.
You've done it so long.
I mean, I've only been doing it for how many years?
We're going on 7.
Yeah, 7 as of this month.
Oh, yeah, it is this month. It's July already.
Really, when you do say something on repeat, and it turns out it doesn't matter what it is, it can really kick in. For example,
Yep.
I used to work at the Minnesota State Fair, and I helped on the fudge puppy booth. If you don't know what that is, it's a waffle on a stick, dipped in a special chocolate with whipped cream on top. And when I put whipped cream on for people, I would say, do you want a lot, a little, or somewhere in between? And then for months after that, I would randomly, my brain would just kick in and just say, do you want a lot or little or somewhere in between for something completely unrelated?
Yeah, it's like a weird tick.
Right. It's like you just say it so often. It's like, I'm not doing whipped cream right now.
I don't know. There might be things in the world that disagree with you. I mean, this world is so crazy we could use a little whipped cream on top. Otherwise, I think we're all going to go a little insane.
That and sprinkles. I need more sprinkles. And glitter. I want more glitter. I need to do a project with glitter.
I think somebody needs to go beat Alienware because your computer runs like crap, Liberty.
Oh my gosh.
Alienware. Oh, dude, you got a Dell?
Yes, she did.
Not a Dell, but a Dell.
Hey, it worked for my needs. I have many happy memories of
fair.
Dragon Age Inquisition and Sims 3.
Are you still paying it off? Because I think you are.
I think I am.
Oh, well.
And I got it right around the start of the whole pandemic
Adam,
thing.
You ready for the scary bit?
Okay.
I tried loading it. Mind you, this thing has an NVMe SSD boot drive.
That's pretty dope. That's got to be quick.
It took more than 30 seconds to hit Control-Alt-Delete and bring up the screen and then bring up Task Manager. It took at least 15 seconds from choosing Task Manager for Task Manager to start to load.
What?
Okay, so
Did I mention this has like an 8-core Intel?
Wow.
what I think is in my defense is it was like the last
When it
thing on
finally
the shelf.
popped, it showed 100% CPU usage. And you know what the largest single task using CPU was? 23% for installing the NVIDIA drivers. It literally was locking up from trying to install NVIDIA drivers.
That sounds bad.
So let me try to guess how old this is. So you said you played Sims 3 on it. Mm-hmm. You, Matt, said it was. You said it's an 8-core Intel.
Yes.
Is it a Xenon?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to say
it might be a
it's
6-core.
somewhere between. It what?
A 6-core. The graphics card is really what will give you the time period.
Okay, so if it's a 6-core, then I'm leaning more closer to like 2012.
No. Way too early. I will tell you which graphics line the card is. The prefix. It's an NVIDIA card.
Okay.
RTX.
It's a prefix?
Right. It's an RTX graphics card.
RTX. Hold on. RTX.
What is the prefix on your graphics card?
Huh? Oh. I don't know. My computer's off.
Your PC. Your
Yeah.
gaming PC. What is the graphics card you put in there?
It's a 2070 Super.
And a what? A GTX or an RTX?
I'm pretty sure it's an RTX.
Mm-hmm. What does the R stand for in RTX?
I don't know.
Ray tracing.
Yeah, okay. Then I did know.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the first card to have the RTX series in it. So,
Okay.
RTX started with the 20 series graphics cards, which means she has a 20 series graphics card.
So it's way newer than I was expecting. Why is it running so shittily?
It's a Dell.
Oh, right. Right. Alienware.
It's got like
Okay.
web root security or something like on it.
Okay, that was my mom's idea.
That's a bad idea.
I'm starting to think Nuke and Pave.
Yeah, I agree. Bring it down to 0, crash that thing, and then rebuild.
Rebuild clean.
You have the technology. If you got a 20 series, that's not terrible.
Oh, yeah, a 2070 Intel CPU that can push north of 4 gigahertz.
Right.
I think it was some HyperX RAM is what I noticed when I pulled the thing open and dusted it before installing it.
I remember HyperX.
Mm-hmm. They're still a decent brand, so it's like really
I don't have anything left from them.
There's not much that should be causing this unless the NVMe is super full. Then again, I've noticed some weirdness on my Corsair 1 where a few times it's just like you're taking way too long to install something, and that's just weird. I don't know.
That is weird.
Yeah, considering it's a PCIe 4.0 NVMe drive, a little bit. Then again, I think I'm north of 200 gig. I think I'm north of a terabyte on a 2 terabyte drive, so there might be that too.
I just still think it's funny. I hand you my computer just to like plug it into the wall and get it up and running. And then the next thing I know, you've got it all pulled apart. And I know you know what you're doing. So the fact that I was terrified seeing like the guts and everything was completely silly. It was just definitely not what I was expecting. But I should have expected it from you. Because
what, to actually prepare things for long-term
to actually
use?
go in and like the cleaning it, and I did not realize there was dust in there. It did not occur to me to open it up and dust it if nothing else.
You mean the fact that you left it running for at least 1 to 3 years?
I feel like I really need to plead the fifth on this. Is that a thing? Can I plead the fifth on? I never know when I want to hop on a computer, and I don't want to wait for it to boot up.
Okay, so yeah, that wow.
That's a common argument in my job. Like a lot of people lie about having restarted their computer. It's really weird because that's step 0 in troubleshooting. And a lot of times I'll ask the user, they'll put in like a ticket that 9 times out of like
Here
10.
we go. So that computer couldn't have come out before 2018. October of 2018.
That's not that old.
No, it should not be.
I was thinking it was way older based on what you were describing. So yeah, I'll remote into a user's computer and I'll be like, "Hey, did you restart this? I see the problem." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I restarted." And then I can see the uptime of the computer in my system. And it'll be like 35 days, since it was powered up. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just for funsies, I'm going to restart it right now. So I'll send a restart command. It comes back up, and I'm like, okay, try it. And then 9 times out of 10, it works. And I'm just like, you should have just restarted your computer.
So out of curiosity, Adam, do you want to talk about the couple of things you guys got going up for auction that you sent me a picture of?
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man. One thing that's cool about working for an auction company is the fact that it's like working in a museum, but everything's changing all the time, and there's some really cool shit that comes in. So, yeah, they're doing a whole Disney sale coming up here this month, and they're including actual props from the original Star Wars movie.
Liberty, you are not to look at this sale at all.
Hey, what's the website for this auction?
You are not to find out it. See, here's the funny thing. You sent me the picture showing me the lightsaber and the Stormtrooper helmet from the Mandalorian. Do you know what my eyes zeroed in on immediately?
The gun from Alien.
The gun from Aliens 2.
Yeah, that's there too. It's up for sale.
Yeah, I know.
We
I may have messaged somebody who might have an addiction to wanting to, how do you say? He's trying to turn real guns into that.
They're nice. They're also selling Katniss Everdeen's bow that was used in the movie. There's like, oh man, there's all kinds of cool shit. It's a pretty interesting auction.
Give me a minute. I need to go steal Liberty's credit card so she can't do anything.
I'll tell you.
No, I need all this. I need it. Can I cite mental health? I will be sad if I don't get some of this stuff.
Good angle.
If you can make your healthcare insurance pay for it, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to say the name of the company on here, but if you search for those items, I'm sure you will find the auction advertising. So
That sounds like some pretty darn cool stuff.
I have a feeling out of what you sent me, the pulse rifle is probably going for the most amount of money.
Yeah. That's not even, like, I didn't even show you all the stuff that was just in that display room, a tiny room in our giant warehouse. Was some cool stuff. They had an actual Oscar that's going up for sale, which is kind of weird. I've never seen one of those up close.
I mean, why would you be trying to sell an Oscar Wilde?
Well, oh my!
I'm trying to think of either who would have so many that they would just be like, yeah, no, nah, I don't. This is taking up too much shelf space.
I can't remember who it was because I looked. I was like, who the hell's selling this? But I forget who it was. I was kind of in and out of there pretty quick. And of course, we're selling the fucking Pokemon cards like nonstop and all kinds of stuff.
I wonder. I think I have some Pokemon cards somewhere still. You know what I really hate myself for? I remember my dad going, "Those Pokemon cards will never be worth anything," and he made me get rid of them. And I'm like, I'm about 60% sure I had a holographic Charizard. First edition.
Oh, I've seen those go for 6+ figures. I know. I had the same conversation with my mom at that age, and every time I see a Pokemon auction, I send her pictures of the prices. And one time I did that, like the first time I did that, I was like, I had all these when I was a kid. And she's like, "Oh, you should sell them," because I would have netted like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I said, "Yeah, I wish I could." Because they're gone. They're gone, and I'm sad.
$311,800.
Wait, for a Charizard card?
Yes. A 1999 first edition Charizard.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody paid $375K for a fake.
Well, oh, here we go. The Oscar was for the King of Comedy, Max Sennett, 1932.
Wow, that is an ancient one.
Yeah, we've got Judy Garland's Dorothy Gale jumper and blouse worn during the first 2 weeks of filming Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm just kind of scrolling through.
I wonder how much of that stuff is getting on the edge of it's not going to be worth anything anymore.
Okay, that kind of comes.
I think it's got a way to go.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that's going to be
okay.
Like depending on who's looking for it.
You
have people
Cheryl Todd?
Twice.
I think you met her at Gun Rights Policy Conference the one year you went, Adam.
Probably.
You know what her and her husband do for their day job, right?
No.
They own an auction house.
Which one?
It's one out in, let's see, Pot of Gold Auctions.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's anywhere on the scale of what you guys do because it's not like they're going to have.
There's only two others that are on our scale, like Sotheby's and Christie's.
Yeah,
our biggest competitors.
I mean, come on.
They sell like original Picassos and shit.
Dude, you sold something way better than a Picasso. You
Agreed.
Guys sold a Nintendo PlayStation prototype.
I saw that thing with my eyes, bro.
Did you finger fluff it?
I wanted to, but I was kind of afraid because if I were to break that in any way, I'm not going to be able to afford it.
Touche.
Yeah.
Even I doubt it was working.
No, they played on it. They had some Famicom cartridges and they tested it. It was fully working.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah.
I think that thing's still one of a kind. It's like...
It's the only working one that exists. That's why it sold for so much. It was like, holy shit. I was really excited when that thing came in. Mm. And then we sold Eddie Van Halen's guitar. I gotta play that. That was fun.
So, last week we were talking on the show and I was like, I'm going to use the wrong keyboard. And yeah, totally did. Totally still have multiple times. Wrong keyboard, wrong mouse. And, one of the listeners hit me up and said, dude, why don't you just use a KMV? I'm like, well, I was going to use a KMV, and then I'm like, but I can't because nothing supports the display hey, wait a minute. The display works as a KMV, sort of. I don't need to worry about that. I can literally just do a USB KMV. That's all I need.
Yeah. Why not?
Though, what I am really disturbed about is, oh yeah, about that. Here, the KMV is for switching printers between computers.
What?
You don't network your printers? People don't network their printers? Everyone should network their printers.
I don't know why people don't. It's so much easier to manage.
I know. It's like... And even for some... like, I have a scanner that I only hook up to one computer at a time, and I only basically ever use it on the Mac. And you know why? The software support for it seems to be far better on the Mac than on the PC. You know what? I think that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, that's how I use it. Just on the Mac.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fair.
And, yeah, that's just how I roll. I might be a little crazy, but yeah. So, now I've got a KMV that I just can hit a button, and then I'm going to have to rearrange my desk. And I may have done a thing. It took, oh, God. It was like almost 2 months. Yeah, nearly 2 months. So, I ordered from Tactical Walls and got some stuff. Adam, you remember years ago when I showed you, like, this furniture, or like a mirror or a shelf or that kind of stuff where you can hide guns inside of it?
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
I ordered some of that stuff.
Nice.
It was on about a 10-week. It took about 2 months to get. It was nuts. I guess that's still within the 8-week back order. Oh, dude. I was out shopping for fireworks today. You realize almost nobody has smoke balls or firecrackers.
Really?
Yeah, smoke balls and firecrackers are hard to get.
Huh. That's weird.
What's more weird is I found a Pokeball shaped firework that's like a fountain and a Pikachu firework.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Pikachu go
fully
off.
molded out of plastic.
Interesting.
It's like
shrapnel.
Well, the Pikachu is a Pikachu, and then it's got like little rockets, and it's on a spinning base, so it's supposed to spin.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
There is a warning on the Pokeball that says submerge in water after firing because it may reignite.
Well, that's good to know.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to be introducing myself to the neighborhood right and tidy.
That's pretty proper, yeah. I think that's a good move. Just celebrate your entry into that neighborhood by blowing up a small part of it.
Honestly?
Yeah, maybe don't do that. Like, literally blowing it up.
Fine.
Adam, you would not believe how insanely big my front yard is.
It's huge.
It literally
you got a corner lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
This thing's like...
That's like 2 front yards.
It's more than that. It's ridiculous.
You gonna go grow crops in it or something?
Dude, I have like half an acre here.
That's awesome.
In Southridge.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
pretty
amazingly
nuts.
big. Considering this area, that is like insane amount.
That's like a lot to mow.
Yeah, most people are charging like $40 to $50 to do it.
That's about right.
Yeah, it's like it's also it actually cost me about as much as it cost my parents, and they have a lot less yard space. But they also have a fence that's very complex. They have a shed.
They also have a pool.
Yeah, they have the pool and the fence, and those two interacting make it doubly fun.
I can imagine.
Yeah. You need to come up and visit more often.
I know, right?
Dude, I have had suppressors. Jesus. This fall I will have suppressors for 2 years, and you have not been here since I got a suppressor.
No, I know.
Which means
it's been more than 2 years. I haven't been there since end of 2018.
Dude, that's you have
or
got
beginning
to
of 2019. It was before I started this job, so beginning of 2019 was the last time I was there.
You really have to check suppressors. Seriously. The audio engineer in you is just going to be going, huh?
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen plenty of videos and stuff, but I've never been there in person. So
the videos never convey it. They don't.
Right. No, I know. They can't.
But, I mean...
Numbers convey it. Though.
When you come out, I'll break out my bolt action 300 blackout.
Nice.
That I put a custom barrel on and then threw a 9-inch suppressor on the end.
Okay. Because why wouldn't you?
Okay, you know a 308 bullet?
Yes.
Okay, think extremely heavy 308 bullet going below the speed of sound and sounding quieter than a 22 long rifle.
That's insane.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense on paper, but perceiving it with my senses will be a shock.
You mean the fact that it's in suppressed bolt action 22 long rifle noise range? Shooting a projectile, let's see, 220 grain projectile versus 40 grain. Yeah. Slightly less than 7 times as heavy. That's a lot of energy. Did I mention it falls like a rainbow? Because it falls like a rainbow. Yeah, that is always a problem with that kind of... Ooh. You know, that rifle is a good candidate to put my 1-10 optic on.
Again, why wouldn't you?
You realize I have like a MSRP $1,200 optic sitting around, not even on a gun currently.
You just use that to spy on your neighbors or what?
No, I had it on a gun and then I got a better one for that gun, and so I just have it sitting in my safe and going to put it on something else, and then found another optic on sale and bought that because it's a pretty good optic and it was a good price, and I'll eventually put it on a gun, just not sure which gun and when. I'm not a strange person. Why are you looking at me like that?
You got issues, man.
Yeah, I do. You know what my real issues are? I'm kind of disappointed in the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Oh my god, I'm shocked. Let me put on my shocked face.
Do you know why I'm kind of disappointed?
Why are you disappointed in those systems, Matt?
Well, mostly because the performance is really not where it should be for them.
Oh my god, I'm shocked again.
Okay, here's the thing. They're supposed to do up to 8K, so they right. Supposedly are 8K. Okay. They supposedly do all this fun stuff. So, okay, supposedly 8K, whatever, we'll go with that. They're also supposed to do up to 120 hertz.
That's a lot of hertz.
Yeah, that is. And so you're supposed to be able to do 4K gaming with ray tracing. Yeah. It can't do all that at once. So I have the new Ratchet and Clank game because that's really the game I wanted for the PS5. That one I wanted really bad because, you know, PS5 only, I've always enjoyed the Ratchet and Clank series. You know the drill. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I go and I start playing through the first part, and I have it on quality. So I want to know, I've got 4K enabled, ray tracing enabled, everything looks beautiful. This is the default setting. I'm just like, cool, I'll leave it on default because this is going to look good. It felt bad and jittery, and this is direct HDMI 2.1 connection from the console to the television that supports 120 hertz. And I'm just like, ew, no. Well, their patch came out this week. That explains a lot. Let me look it up real quick. And you're wondering, why does some of the patch notes matter to this at all?
Does any of this matter?
Actually, I think some of this stuff actually matters.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right. they finally enabled Ratchet and Clank to do 120 hertz.
I call shenanigans.
No, here's the thing. Really? It didn't initially support 120 hertz.
So this was just a patch that was added recently?
2 days ago.
Jesus.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
It reduces latency when using a compatible display.
Okay.
When you're in this mode, the frame rate target for the fidelity graphics increases. Mind you, this is the patch notes. Do you know what that means?
Read it to me again.
It added 120 Hz display mode, which reduces input latency when using a compatible display. In this mode, the frame rate target for fidelity graphics mode increases to 40 frames per second.
I guess I don't fully understand. I understand it up to that last part about the 40 frames.
Okay. So that means that it's... Okay. So the graphics are set to target a frame rate.
Okay. Of course.
So when they added the 120 hertz mode, they increased what it aims for its frame rate target. So instead of targeting a different frame rate, they're now targeting to go, we hope to achieve 40 frames per second. Which means it's not even able to do 40 frames per second at base when I was trying it. It was probably targeting 30 frames per second.
Gross. So they increased it to 40. So basically, no matter what, its target's going to always be 40. So it could be as low as that, too.
No. Here's the thing. It probably is lower than that. Based on what I was seeing in the stuttering and the jitteriness, it's just like, oh, dear God. So what I'm going to say is, I couldn't even get through the intro section without it being too bad for me to ignore. And then there's two other options, okay?
Yeah.
You have Performance RT, Performance and Ray Tracing. You want to guess what that does to the settings of the game?
For performance and ray tracing, what it does to the settings?
It's called Performance Ray Tracing.
Yeah, so I would imagine that turns on ray tracing and ups all the...
Fidelity has ray tracing on already.
So it's doubling it?
No. Performance ray tracing means ray tracing is on and you get better frame rates. It drops the output to 1080p.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have just performance mode, aka they disable ray tracing and it looks nice and smooth and good in 4K. So you have
all right.
4K in ray tracing, 1080p in ray tracing, or 4K only. And the only one it seems, and it does not seem to be good doing both, which is like, hey, wait, this is what this thing was supposed to do.
Yeah, it should be able to do the thing.
It can do the thing. It cannot do the thing well.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, I don't know, man. So what about is that true on the Xbox as well, or what's the story there?
The Xbox, honestly, there's almost nothing that's made just for the Xbox yet. And that's kind of difficult and makes it more difficult because you're like, okay, so... I mean, the games you play on it look good, but they don't look spectacularly better than playing on my Xbox Series X. No, Xbox One X.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
But then again, this fall we have games coming out that should show it. One of the better games to demo it now is Forza Horizon 4, which is a couple years old.
That's a good game.
Here's the thing. Forza Horizon 5 comes out this fall.
I wish GTA 6 would come out this fall.
I think they said not before 2023.
Is it GTA 6?
Yeah.
I mean, GTA has now made 3 console generations. GTA 5 has been on 3 different console gens.
Yeah, but not just on them, but like a selling point, as if we haven't been playing it since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that game so popular? I'm really sorry if this is a dumb question. It just did not have an appeal for me. Mostly because I like playing good guys, and that didn't seem to be the case in that game.
Okay, what if I told you could play online as an MMO, building your own character, doing whatever you want in a giant sandbox city?
Recently
You said it was on 3 consoles? I probably have one of those. I have things to do. I need to go check this out.
Yeah, it's on the 360. That's where it debuted, and then it's on the One where it relaunched, and now they've announced it for the Series X, and the same thing for PlayStation.
No, it's already launched. I think it was like day and date, and it got some graphics updates and everything. And of course,
it's also on all
PC.
the PlayStations since PS3, and it's also on PC. So really, it's on 6 different consoles and PC. So there's 7 different ways to play this, spanning almost a decade.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Also,
but
it's like the top grossing game ever. Because
it is a top grossing
it's
game
like
ever
always on the
it's
top
a sandbox.
10.
And it's so detailed. It's like
GTA
living
Online.
Yeah.
Starting to think I only ever heard this horror stories about it, probably from the same people who are like, video games make kids evil.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
that's
I mean,
that
is one that people. It definitely does have that issue.
Yeah, when I played it as a kid, like, I wasn't allowed to tell people at my Christian school that I played it. I did tell them, of course, because it made me cooler, but...
Wow. Okay, here we go. I just looked this up.
Okay.
Rift Apart, the new Ratchet & Clank game, if you put on performance only, it does about 60 frames per second, and the resolution is somewhere between 1620 and 1800p.
Oh, no.
Performance ray tracing still runs at 60 frames per second, but about a 1080p resolution. And fidelity mode, your resolution is somewhere between 1800 and 2160p, and it's limited to 30 frames per second.
I hate it.
It's like one of those things that's like, no.
Do you still play GTA 5 on Xbox One?
No, I still have my save game, so I could get into it. I just haven't played it because I beat the game. It's like...
So I beat the game like a few times because I never played online. I tried playing online when it first came out.
Same here.
But it was a crapshoot with their servers, and then I went away from it, played the campaign, and once I was done with that, I tried going back online. But by the time I did that, everybody else was really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of gave up on it.
I'm not the biggest fan of the matchmaking. The heist, I think, could be really fun, though.
Yeah, see, I can't do that because I don't really know anybody playing it, and I just started playing online again in almost a decade. So I have the Diamond Casino heist pending, and then a couple others, but I need people to do heist with. So we should play that.
Maybe we should.
That could be fun.
Xbox or PC?
Let's see. I've been playing on Xbox, but I do have it on PC as well, and I think they transfer, don't they?
Only once in one way, so let's stick with Xbox.
Yeah,
because that's where I did most of my play too. And did I mention that probably that's where I have all my stuff?
Nice.
I mean, when I say all my stuff, I mean, I think once or twice I did actually buy their online currency to buy stuff for my online. I don't remember everything I bought, but I did buy a few things. Whatever.
Yeah, well, it's probably still there, I'm sure.
Heck, I mean, I still have Destiny too, but yeah.
We can start a...
Ooh, Adam, quick question. Did you ever play Portal Bridge Constructor?
No.
It's actually fun.
That actually looks really entertaining from watching you play it.
Is it anything like the first two?
Okay.
What's the
build bridges So GLaDOS basically says you need to build a bridge from here to here, and then you have forklifts that run across the bridges you construct.
She actually says it much more evilly and with much less conscientiousness of human life, but yes, that's basically it.
Got it. Okay.
And I should also mention a few things. The way it keeps the humor of the Aperture Science thing. You have been volunteered for this position. I don't want to be volunteered for this position. Well, you have been volunteered to inspect the incinerator. Have fun. Little things like that. Let's see.
It's really simple in its overall look. It's like isn't your character like a little icon character?
Yes.
Like what comes to mind is like, your typical bathroom sign.
So Adam,
type.
This game is on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, Linux, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS.
I have all of those.
See, I don't really run Linux, but yeah, I run all the rest. I'm like, this was a really good game, and I got part of Games Pass.
The only Linux machine I'm running is my Pi-hole.
What a Pi-hole that is.
It is. It's nice. I hate ads.
There's a reason why I pay YouTube, so I don't have any YouTube ads.
I just block the DNS for all their advertisers.
Yeah, do you know why I do it, though?
To support the local channels, or rather, your favorite channels. I get it. You should.
Yeah. Did I also mention there's a secondary aspect to it?
No.
What's that?
I get to offline videos and do background play of YouTube on my phone.
Okay, that's handy. I kind of want to be able to do that.
Oh, wow. Portal Bridge Constructor is $5 on your phone.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Play it on your phone.
Okay, I gotta see if it is on the iPad, because...
if it's on the phone, it can be on the iPad.
Yep, they finally did that.
Really?
They did it. They did it better. You've always been able to do that, but it was done poorly.
Yeah, they're finally allowing you to rotate soon. Yay. Yeah, I need to buy this game.
Don't you already have the game, or are you just buying it again?
I have the game because to buy the Series X, I had to buy Game Pass Ultimate. And I'm actually kind of liking that.
I have it. It's pretty cool. I've tested some games that I've...
Oh, you saw this week, you can now do the cloud gaming, right?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And you can do it from your phone. And if you have any of the later Xbox One controllers, so it's a single piece across the top...
Yeah.
Those connect to Bluetooth.
Right. I have the first generation Pro controller.
I'm not sure if that one did Bluetooth or not.
I don't remember.
But, that is one thing. I should probably get discussing the Series X and the PlayStation, the controllers.
Ooh, yes.
Though I will say both of them allow you to have apps and install games remotely and handle them remotely.
Sorry, it's the Elite controller.
Mm-hmm. But yes, the remote game management is handy, especially to hey, PlayStation, download a game when I'm not there. Though they are slow. Oh, are they slow? The Xbox is literally the slowest to download games. I don't know why.
Still?
Yeah, they're both pretty bad. And what I hate the most about it is, alright, I know it's on wireless, but it should be Wi-Fi 6. And it's a good connection. It should not be taking... I think it took all night to download a 70 gig game.
Oh my god.
With a gigabit connection, I'm just
Yeah, that shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know. Then again, I used a lot of data last month. Lots of data.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the nice things about the Aero. You can actually go through and see data usage. It's this month I've downloaded 900. No, this week I've had downloaded 985 gigs.
Of course you did.
Last month, 3.7 terabytes. of network usage.
3.7 terabytes.
Yes.
Well, that's a lot, Matt.
I know. I'm kinky. I mean, what?
What?
So, are you getting on the Epic Game Store and getting, like, the free games on that, and, like, the Xbox, grabbing the free games every month on that one, too?
Yeah. I have been.
Me too. And honestly, I have a really big PlayStation collection now because I've been doing that. Same for the Xbox. Granted, Xbox is also games I've bought, but between the two of those, oh God, I think I have over 100 games installed on my Xbox Series X now.
Good Lord, man.
I also have a 4 terabyte spinner hooked up to it.
Do you need counseling?
No. Did I mention that I seem to have more fun actually getting this stuff prepared and ready to go than actually playing the games? It seems like I'm going to fire up my Xbox. It's management time! Yay!
Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing.
I know.
What you just described is sad.
It's the same with the PlayStation. Though having PlayStation Plus does help. Because then it can automatically do the updates in the background. It doesn't always, but it can, and it normally does. Because if you don't have it, it's like, oh yeah, I spend all my time doing updates before playing games. Yay.
Yay.
I mean, you know how it goes. It's like, yeah, I want to play games. All right. I need to remember that I want to play games and start preparing 2 hours before I want to play the games.
Whoa.
It seems actually really in-depth for playing a game.
That's how this stuff has become. All the patches, the day one patches, the patches to the patch. So I'm really wondering if I... Alright, Adam. So
Yes.
I've got access to a PlayStation Slim.
Mm-hmm.
So a PS4 Slim, a PS4 Pro, and a PS5. Should I consider trying to do the same run in Cyberpunk on all three?
I feel like the answer to this should be yes.
He wants that answer.
I don't know if I want that answer or not, because that's a lot of work.
Okay, now, isn't Cyberpunk itself, like if you just, I haven't played it yet, I want to, but if you just play the game like skipping the side quests, isn't it actually kind of short?
Yes.
So this is something that could be feasible.
I'm not talking about playing the whole game. I'm talking like just do the intro missions.
Speed running it?
Yeah, that
No,
too.
do like just the first 2 missions. So I think like start out with Nomad, so you have the wide open spaces, and then look at the graphical differences across the 3 platforms and performance gameplay fit differences.
I think personally, I think this would be a good use of time. I cannot think of a better game to like test.
You mean the fact that it literally has a warning you want at least a PS4 Pro or a PS5?
Yeah. I was trying to like, it's like words escape me. It's like, this is such an intense, heavy game from a technical standpoint that like, yeah, stuff that can actually run it and then comparing them. Yes. No, I am very much behind this plan.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah. I will say, Adam, have you ever tried playing Super Hot?
What? Why would you ask me that? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a VR game. Though they do have the game in non-VR versions. I tried it in non-VR. It sucked. I tried it in VR, and I'm blown away. That game is amazing.
Well, I don't have VR, but I'll take your word for it.
Having only ever
think
played
about
in
it
VR?
as half puzzle. So think of yourself as like Neo, and you're one hit, and you have to destroy all the enemies while doing stuff, and then you teleport around from place to place to place. So you've got each position, you have X number of guys, and they're always going to attack you in roughly the same way, but but based on what you do changes what they do.
Isn't that the most fun part?
Yeah, they're one hit, you're one hit. So you can punch them and break them. You could very aggressively steal their gun and possibly kill them by breaking their arm. Because they're made out of glass, you're made out of glass. And then they have guns and shoot at you. And whenever you move, time in the world moves. But if you don't move, nothing moves.
Whoa.
So you could play it like, it's like when Matt plays it, he's figuring out where everybody is, and then he just goes for it. Whereas with me, I will start and I will like take a second. I'm just holding still. I'm like sizing these glass guys up. They have 1 hit point. I have 1 hit point. It's all good. And then I will start moving. I figure out what I want. Then I will start moving very, very slowly. And then it's like for every move they make, I'm already moving slow. I can change what I'm doing. I find that works for most of the time. And then there's just times it doesn't work. But I really like feeling that power. Like, you can't move unless I move. I control this board. I might be a crazy person, but I find that fun. Also, I kind of see it as kind of, I know it is a puzzler, but I kind of see it less than that. I kind of see it as like a virtual training thing, more or less. Like, you have to fight these, this is your training for becoming a secret agent or something like that. That's how I see it in my head. And I just can't figure out.
It's very good for training situational awareness.
Yes. Well, as much as you can when you can only see like out straight in front of you, more or less.
If you're not paying attention, you can get shot in the back or punched in the back of the head and die.
True. Yes. You do have to figure out who all is all the way around you. Having only played it in VR, I'm trying to figure out how that would even work, not VR.
I know. I tried playing it not VR first, and it's like, oh, no. And having done room scale, do not, under any circumstances, try the PlayStation VR. Not worth it. Not even close. Because the PlayStation VR is... It doesn't do room scale. You can't look away from the TV, so you always have to be looking close to or mostly close to the TV.
Interesting.
Yeah, trust me, it does not work as well as you want. I mean, it will do okay for Fruit Ninja, which Fruit Ninja really sucks in VR.
I really wanted it to be better.
Yeah,
I do much better playing that game still on a tablet versus doing it in VR. Which is kind of sad, because I really wanted to do... Yeah, I really wanted to do better, because I really like that game.
Did I mention that in there you actually have to control the angle of the blade?
That's probably the irritating part, yes.
Beat Saber is amazing.
Beat Saber is fun. Although, I do like that one... What's that one where you're, like, holding these two balls?
Synth Riders. That one's pretty good.
Synth Riders is fun. I actually like that better than Beat Saber.
There's another one I want to pick up. It's on sale on Steam, so I think I'm going to buy it on Steam so I don't have to pay the Oculus additional money if I don't like it. Though I'll probably end up buying it twice, but whatever. It's called Pistol Whip. So it's a combination of like rhythm game and shooter.
Now that sounds
cool.
Interesting.
It looks interesting. So the way they describe it is like Beat Saber meets John Wick.
Okay, I have to see this because I'm like trying to incorporate those two visuals in my head, and it's not working real great.
Yeah, that's not a standard visual I think anyone is expecting.
No, not really. Ooh, I'm super excited that I finally got to play Moss. Because I've been wanting to do that one for forever, because it just looks so adorable. That's the name of it, right?
Yes, Moss.
Okay.
How was it?
It was adorable. I actually wanted something that was relaxing, because like Beat Saber, Synth Riders, even Super Hot, it's like they're all fun. I wanted something a little more relaxing. So I haven't gotten to any like fight scenes, and it's a sitting game. So you're sitting the whole time you're doing it, but you're just you are a character in the world, and you're making friends with this little mouse character, and you're going off on this adventure, and it's just
that sounds delightful.
I do wish the graphics were better, but for a relaxing game, I'm really enjoying it. And I think for me, it's a good one to get into, because I'm kind of having trouble getting into any other game in the VR. So that's the one that's working for me right now. I'm enjoying it. I love that little mouse.
Oh, I just sent you all a link to Pistol Whip so you can see it on the Steam
Thank you.
store.
All right.
Because I need to... I need to actually see that.
So the video looks to be from the 2099 add-on.
Steam isn't liking me right now.
Yeah, well, should just pull the Steam website.
Hey, I know that me having a whole ton of windows open on my PC or on my Mac is a bad idea. Does the same thing go for phones, or does that not count anymore?
It's the same thing on phones. It still uses RAM.
Same. Yep.
Well, oops.
Adam, are you noticing that on RAM your phone is not... Oh, wait, you've got the newest phone. You're not going to have the same problems I am. I've had a couple of times... Like, my phone is completely locked up on me, and I've had actual glitches in sound when it's getting near the end, and it's like RAM issues, and I can have like 0 or 1 app going. It started happening when they updated the podcast app.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
It's been weird. I've had the thing lock up multiple times. It's like, you should not be locking up like this.
I think it needs to get its shit together. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think Apple really screwed the pooch when they did the new podcast app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
You mean the fact that I was actually having issues where I couldn't download podcasts that I knew were there because, you know, you can't pull them because, oh, right, we are now making you all go through our feed and not go through the feed that is the RSS.
Gotcha.
Which is just ridiculous.
Stupid.
And, yeah, the app, even if you leave it open, it closes out so much you just have to be like, okay, now I have to reload the entire app to try and get it going again. It will seriously forget its playlist.
Unacceptable.
If you actually used it more, you would actually totally be thinking that, Adam.
I use the podcast app, but I don't get technical with it. I just find what I want to hear and click it.
That's the thing. Even if you're subscribed to it, it's janky as hell now.
Well, shit.
Yeah, it's one of those where I'm just not happy that my phone has... When I say crash, I mean straight up crash back to the black screen with a white apple.
Yikes.
Full on lockup sometimes. I've had it lock up so hard that forcing a reset doesn't work.
Really?
Really.
That's bad.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I'm running an 11 Pro. I should not be seeing this kind of stuff.
Correct.
But, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I just kind of see... The PS5 is humongous.
Yep.
Series X is nice, compact, and dense. And I think the Series X is actually better with airflow and air management.
Yeah.
Because I have them both sitting in the upright position because, I need to get as much in a small area. And the way the PS5 does, where it shoots the air down and out the back, that's...
I don't know, man. I don't understand it. Why is it so freaking big?
Styling, partially, and the way they set the cooling.
Ugly. I think it's an ugly-looking console. It
kind of is, but it's also got an elegance on some level just because it's like, hey, I am what I am. And you'll notice how, like, every single generation, PlayStation comes up with something that is new and differentiating that they think is amazing. Do you remember what was the one for the PlayStation 3?
Oh, yeah, the original backwards compatible fat one.
Nope, that is not the gimmick that they did for the PS3. I'll give you a hint. There are 2 games that are really known for showing this off.
God of War?
No.
What are we talking about?
Flower and Flow. 6-axis.
Oh.
Motion control of the controller.
Right. Yeah, motion control never goes well.
No. And honestly, I've played PS3 games that use that, and it's just like, this game is so much worse on here than it was on any other console, and you don't even give us the option to disable it. It was jank, it was bad, it was worthless.
Hate it.
What was the gimmick for the PS4?
I don't really remember. I kind of went off the PlayStation line around then. Eventually had one, but...
The touch pad on the controller in the center.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it does have that.
And there are a few games that use it, but is it actually good for anything? No. It's kind of useless.
Stupid. Hate it.
Do you know what the gimmick is for the PS5? And I'm not talking the controller shape, but yeah, that is kind of a gimmick. I'm not the biggest fan of the controller shape.
Wasn't it supposed to be performance?
Yeah, but there is another one. There's the secondary to performance.
Secondary to performance? I don't know.
This is the only one out of all those that has actually impressed me, where it adds to the gameplay.
Really? What?
Adjustable controls on the triggers, so you can change the force of the triggers with the game.
Oh, that's okay. That's kind of cool.
Okay, in Ratchet and Clank, you have like 2 levels of trigger pull. So, depending on the gun, you have trigger pull 1 and then the second half of the trigger pull. So, it actually is like a 2-stage trigger on a rifle. So, you can pull and take up all the slack for one trigger pull. So, like your base gun, you pull that back till you hit the wall. And it's an actual physical wall you can feel that is adjustable by the electronics. And then you break that wall to make it fire. So you can have it aiming and then go. Or with one that's like a quote-unquote double-barrel shotgun, the first one fires the first barrel, the second pull fires the second. But if you do a full pull-through, it fires both.
Okay, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, so you can actually adjust and have feeling inside the trigger and do changes based on that. So you can have the other trigger, it'll feel full travel. It will just be like, oh yeah, this is a standard PlayStation trigger or standard Xbox trigger. And then the other one will be like, this is the game telling it, okay, I want this different trigger pull. And you can literally get a 2-stage trigger. And I'm like, oh, hello. Yes, please.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I mean, literally, it felt like a real-world gun trigger to me. So...
That's pretty impressive if that's true, because damn.
Well, you know how like sometimes you'll have the take up, and then you feel the wall before it's about to break?
Right.
That's how this feels.
It gives it that sensation?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, that's pretty dope. I can get behind that. So this is a non-useless gimmick, is what you're telling me?
Exactly. The controller shape.
Rarity.
I do not like the controller shape of the PS5 controllers. They just don't feel all that great in the hand.
I've never been a fan of the PlayStation controllers in general, just because of the analog stick placement.
It's worse than the PS4.
That sucks.
I like the PS4. I mean, I've played literally every PlayStation. I even had PlayStation 1 before the dual sticks.
Me too.
I had a controller pre-dual sticks. It was like, wow, yeah.
Yep, same.
It was one of those things, right? Like, oh, yeah. Huh.
It was normal. It's just what it is.
Yeah, and I have to say, the original PlayStation controller was the worst. PS4 was really, really good. I do not like the shape of the PS5. It doesn't fit my hand right. It just...
Yeah, my buddy has one, and I tried it out. It wasn't really my thing.
Okay, now I've always liked the Xbox controllers, not the fat ones, not the original fat ones. Those were ridiculously big and bad.
Of course.
I mean, you remember that the Xbox One, but the original one, not the shrunken one, but the massive thing. Oh god, that thing was humongous.
Yeah. The S controller was the one that replaced it because everybody complained because it was way too big. I liked it.
Ooh, Adam, do you remember that one Xbox controller I got that was super wacky that had the ARM pieces that came down and the computer screen in it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what the PlayStation 5 controller is like.
Oh.
Except less pistol grippy.
Okay.
That's kind of how it feels. The Xbox Series controller, I was not expecting it to be impressive. Like, yeah, it's an Xbox controller. I like Xbox controllers. They're cool. I picked this thing up and it's like a religious experience.
Good Lord.
The Xbox Series controller, I have to say, is probably the best Xbox controller I have ever handled.
That's impressive.
Considering that I liked the S controller, it was okay. I loved the 360 controller. The Xbox Series 1 was an update on and still really good. And the Series S takes that, refines it a little bit, and it's even better.
I thought it was kind of funny when you came over and handed it to me. I was like, feel this controller. And it's like, yeah, whatever. It's just another controller. And I'm holding it. I'm like, no, I'm not sure what they did. But this is amazing. I like holding this controller.
That's impressive.
Like, why are you handing me this controller? It's another controller. Oh,
to put this in perspective,
it's magical.
I give her a PlayStation 4 controller, a PlayStation 5 controller.
Okay.
And then I hand her an Xbox One controller.
Okay.
Then I hand her the Series X the Xbox Series controller. And that's the one she was having the religious experience with. She's like, yeah, this is pretty good with the Xbox One controller. And then I think it's just a tiny bit smaller, a tad bit lighter, and they put stippling on the underside so you have a better grip on it, and then they put stippling on the triggers so the triggers aren't completely smooth anymore.
I like that.
It is, I mean, seriously, if I were you, Adam, do you ever use a gamepad with your computer?
Occasionally.
It might be worth going to pick one up. I think you can even take the Xbox Series controllers and use them with the original Xbox ones.
I'm pretty sure that's true, yes. I feel like that was part of the announcement.
And like I said, they're Bluetooth, so you can pair them to anything Bluetooth.
Yes.
And if you have Games Pass Ultimate, dude, pair it to your iPad when at work or your phone, and you can use that as a game controller on the road.
I like that. I shall do that.
Trust me, worth it immensely.
I will be the greatest of them all.
Sure you will, Shirlene.
Shirlene.
You will be the greatest country rock star ever, Shirlene.
Oh my God.
You remember it now?
Yes. Wow. That came out of nowhere.
I know. That season was epic. You've been watching the new Rick and Morty?
No.
Neither have I. I need to. I don't have time.
I don't either.
I literally, it took me all week to pull the motherboard out of that computer because I decided to put in the better motherboard.
As one does.
Expect to have like 6 months of computer build updates.
I was gonna say, how much longer should this take you now? Because I think you said you have all the parts now.
Yeah, I have all the parts.
He never has all the parts. Because there's always more parts.
I may have bought one more part.
Yes. Wait. What was that last thing that you got for it completely out of the blue?
I bought another 1 terabyte SSD.
And what did it do?
It has RGB control on the front panel. In my defense, the case has 2.5-inch drive bays on the back with a glass window over them.
I mean,
then I see no reason why you shouldn't have.
Exactly. There's an argument to be made for it. It just dawned on me. If anybody could actually... Remember there was a time where you needed to take up an entire room to build a computer?
Yes.
Okay, Matt, how much fun would it be for you if you could just... What could you do if you just made it the size of a room? How fast could it go? What kind of stuff could it do?
It would be beyond the. It would be far beyond the Valley of Diminishing Returns. So basically, you could get like 90% of the performance in a standard computer case size versus something that takes up an entire room. And you know what 90% of the room would be?
I'm thinking storage space.
A giant frigging air conditioner to run across the radiators and pump the heat out.
But I'm thinking like that's an infinite number of terabytes to hold storage.
Yeah, except you're not going to have an infinite number of PCIe lanes to do. Oh God! Did you see
and the more that you
Epic
have,
Milans?
the more processor power you need.
Did you see the new Epic Milan chips?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Adam, they're so hot.
Okay.
Ryzen 3, aka Ryzen 5000.
It's a great start.
Server level chip, 64 core. And you can run up to 2 on one Mobo.
My God.
Put
that in a room.
Yeah, if I remember right, Linus did a video on it recently.
I'll have to check. I haven't been watching every release lately. Been too busy. I got to go to Orlando on Tuesday for a week, right when the hurricane's supposed to hit. So it should be fun.
That sounds like an adventure.
Well, here's the thing. Just go outside and scream, Elsa! Where's my snow? Sorry, I have a problem.
Yep.
I remember when it used to snow in like October. I haven't seen that in forever.
Hey, I remember when it used to rain.
It rained?
Not recently.
It did not too long ago. But yeah, I remember. I remember falls as a child. I remember falls being a lot colder. Like Halloween night, if you wanted to wear a costume, that better be a warm costume, or you better give up looking cute and put a nice heavy coat over your cute little fairy costume. Otherwise, you were going to freeze.
You were not wrong. It was definitely colder. And when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me about how when she was a kid, there would be snow so high and all that. Winter was like way longer. And
yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the history, it's like, oh, wait, there was commonly known that we were undergoing a modern ice age during that time. It was a minor, and we were coming out, even though it started in like the 1800s. Oh, wait, what?
Well, then the scale of time itself, that's a relatively short amount.
In the scale of time, yes, but it's still
There's this old picture that comes to mind of a pole
here,
for a power line.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Up to 3.675 gigahertz.
Oh my God.
For a 64-core processor.
And that's just a standard clock speed? That's not even...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's the boost clock. The base clock's 2.45 gigahertz.
Yeah, but boost is just from the factory. What can we get it to do?
Dude, these things are 280 watt TDPs.
Interesting.
280 watts. That's...
So you'd need quite a power supply for a proper build.
Oh, these are server level chips. These are straight up server level chips, but if you look at it, you're just like, oh. The way Linus does it, he shows Blender, and it's just like...
How much do those chips run again?
$5 to $6 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
He ran 2 of them in a server.
Oh my God.
128 cores simultaneously. Which, that would make it 256 thread.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy level. Like, oh my God. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around that.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen the Blender test. And you know kind of like how the benchmark scales on the Blender test? How it's like you have the top of the showing your results versus everything else, and it just kind of does that arc down. The arc on that is straight up off the charts from what you normally see. Like, let's see. The next one down is maybe a third or less of the way across. They were talking like, I don't even remember. And I'm just kind of sitting here going, I really need to sit down and get that other PC built because based on my benchmarking I ran through 3D Mark, that other graphics card is actually a lot better. Even with a not as good CPU serving it, it scored better than this Corsair 1 build by more than 1,000 points in 3D Mark. So even if I max the fan out on this Corsair 1, now mind you, 2080 5950X, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The fan, if I max it out, it keeps the temperatures way cooler, but it's about 2,000 RPMs. And there's only really the one fan. It's only doing a bit over 16,000 on TimeSpy.
Is that all?
Yeah. Where the 3900 and the 3080 Ti was scoring over 17,000 on TimeSpy.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, I ran TimeSpy on my laptop. I'm like, oh, wow, this looks decent, and it's doing pretty well. Hey, it's averaging like 30 to 40 frames per second on TimeSpy.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I was doing like 120 to 130 frames per second with my 3080s.
Jesus.
I know, and it looks so amazing because the monitor is HDR. I think it's HDR 1000.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, seriously, you're gonna come up here and you're just gonna sit here and bask in the glory. I will say that if you turn this thing up, no, wait, that's the 1000R radius. When you enable 240 hertz, the monitor gets way darker.
Really?
It's a shame, but it really is. Oh yeah, a HDR 1000.
Wow.
Yeah, 1,000 nits peak brightness.
Jesus. That's that could be dangerous now.
It looks good. It looks really good. Damn it, it looks good.
Obviously that's all that matters.
Exactly, and that's how we live life.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah, well, I have Returnal. I still haven't put that on my PS5. I actually have a couple of PS5 games because, with PlayStation Plus, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use the app and claim the PlayStation 5 games because eventually I'll get a PS5.
That's fair. That's not a bad move.
Is it just me, or is it kind of disappointing how few games are coming out?
Oh, it's disappointing.
Then again, I don't have time to play them, but it's still like, there's not many games coming out to get excited about. I'm still doing a Cyberpunk theme for that computer because, yeah. And if anybody's wondering, I do have a video up showing off the custom cables right after they came in on the Geeks, Gadgets, and Guns Facebook page. Yeah.
They do look really pretty.
That apparently Cyberpunk, the way I envision it and the way most of us see it, is straight out of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like, oh,
nostalgia. You hit me right in the nostalgia bone. How dare you?
I know, but those cables, they're ridiculous. They are ridiculously colorful.
Yeah, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Custom cables are always a nice touch.
They're expensive. Oh, are they expensive?
Yeah, because they're awesome.
Touche. And I done goofed. I could have sworn I ordered a purple set, a yellow set, and a light blue set. So apparently something went wrong and it's all light blues.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I've got more than one PC I can throw it into because I've got more than one PC that's currently running that theme.
Nice. Well, there you go.
So yeah. I'm assuming the thumb screws are for like the back of the case, if they're removable on the case, or just like the graphics card slots. So that actually makes sense.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's been an interesting discussion. Oh, I did find that there are now HDMI 2.1 switches out there. Only dual port. But if you have a TV that has only one HDMI 2.1 input, you can now get one of these to have the Series S and the Xbox Series and the PS5 both use it. I swear, Xbox, you keep doing confusing name schemes. I hate you for it. Do you blame me?
No.
Though there is some nice stuff that's going on. You know the PS5 supports remote play, right? So you can remotely play off your PlayStation 4 onto the 5 or off of your 5 onto a 4. So you can be playing your PlayStation 4 elsewhere in your house and play your PS5 games on it. Also, your cell phone supports it. And you know what? I bet I can download that app onto my Apple TV and remotely gameplay from that too.
Well, I think you're all set then.
Yeah, you know, that is a hell of a future where you can just hook up your PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox, or Xbox controller to your Apple TV and then stream your games around the house.
That'd be handy.
Oh, you can do it right now. I mean, you know there's the Steam Remote Play app for your PC, right? So you have your gaming computer running with Steam on it, and you can remotely play the game via your Apple TV. I haven't done it yet. I've meant to. I just haven't.
I've never done it. It's always in the back of my head, but then I forget.
You know?
Or
that'd be one to try with a game that does good controller support.
So I should do it.
I think you should try it. I mean, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a console for every room in the house.
Okay, I agree.
I mean, think about it. You have your console set up in your living room, and then in your bedroom, you're wired in, and then you can stream the gameplay.
That'd be pretty fucking dope.
It'd be pretty cool.
So I can get... So if Steam's loaded on my PC, I can go to my Apple TV, you're saying. Play the game.
Yes.
What app do I need for that?
I believe it's called Steam Link.
Steam Link. I'm going to look it up. And then we'll see.
Oh, I know I have it installed.
Yeah, Steam Link. Right there in the App Store.
Yep.
Stream your Steam library. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like the way that rhymes. That's stupid.
Yeah, totally stupid.
Forbidden. I'm very tired. Sorry. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, I think we should just say thanks everyone for listening. We'll be busy for the next couple of weeks, but we hope to be back with some fun stuff soon. But yeah, if you notice, like, they even added PS5 controller support to the Steam Link app.
Well, hell yeah.
Again, Apple added Xbox Series and PS5 a while ago, too. So,
all right.
It is what it is, and the future is coming. Or here, I'm not sure which.
It's... Every point in time is someone's future,
unless it's in the past. What if your future is someone's past, or someone's past is your future?
Oh my god.
Okay, wait. I gotta think about this one.
I think you just explained normal linear time and life,
except in the most confusing way possible.
That was just a very verbose way. A very verbose way of explaining a very simple concept.
You're welcome.
There are people and then they live, and other people also live.
Clearly, I've been watching too much Doctor Who because it's like I want to think about. I actually want to think.
There was nothing. There was no sustenance there. There's no substance. It was empty, but it was worded in a way that sounded very complex.
You are welcome. I'll be here all Tuesday.
Wait a minute, but it's not Tuesday.
It is somewhere.
Is it somewhere or is it
not
sometime?
on Earth?
Are you sure? We're having this conversation when we're having it, but somebody else could be listening to this conversation on Tuesday.
No, I forbid it. The episode will be removed every Tuesday and re-added every Wednesday from now on.
Okay, but what if they've already downloaded it and it's on their phone, or they're on the other side of the international date line?
We will send out malware that automatically erases it by running a script when the file's downloaded.
You know what? Have fun trying to write that.
I don't want to. I'm tired.
Now I kind of want the episode to be titled, "You are forbidden from watching this on a Tuesday."
I think that would be a good one.
How about don't listen on Tuesday?
Or like never play on a Tuesday.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that half the people who listen are going to be so contrarian. They're like, no, I'm going to listen to this on Tuesday because you told me not
Tuesdays. There's going to be someone out there that goes, I'm going to listen to this every Tuesday.
I'm going to wait until Tuesday to listen to it.
I think that person would be a fun person to meet.
Oh, I agree.
The stubbornness is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Kudos. Salute. Very nice.
Stubborn people change the world.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but they also can force the world to need to change because they're so stubborn they don't allow any change whatsoever.
Wouldn't that be along the lines of... Yeah, wouldn't that be along the lines of, I reject your reality and I substitute my own?
Have fun, Sheldon.
That was Adam Savage. What's his name? Yeah, from
Adam Savage?
Mythbusters.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah.
Now, Sheldon was just, I want the world to be a certain way, and I'm going to force it to be a certain way, and if it's not going to be this certain way, then I don't want to interact with people.
That's kind of exactly what Adam Savage is doing. I reject reality and substitute my own.
But he could still work with people, couldn't he?
Yeah, he isn't completely disconnected from human emotion in a sociopathic way. If Sheldon wasn't smart, he'd be a serial killer.
Who's to say he isn't a serial killer?
There's not no evidence. I don't know.
He's too...
He's being too messy, probably.
You know what? I think humans are too uninteresting for him to be a serial killer. Like with serial killers, at least, the glamorized TV show ones, they find a fascination in killing or something like that. But Sheldon, it's
which
people
one
are boring.
Was it that was leaving the really cryptic clues? Zodiac?
Oh, Zodiac Killer?
Yeah.
Well, notoriously, psychopaths are pretty smart. And
but think about it. If Sheldon Cooper was going to be a serial killer, he would be the one that would be leaving clues that nobody else can figure out, and then be annoyed because everyone's so stupid they can't figure out his obvious and easy clues.
True, but again, I have a hard time imagining it just because
people
are so boring to him.
Yeah, he's just on the spectrum, is what that is.
There is definitely...
And how do you quantify his dad?
That doesn't really negate it. Being on the spectrum would definitely be an explanation for a very valid explanation for a lot of his quirks.
Wait, did you ever watch far enough in the show, either of you, to actually go, all right, you remember he would say, I'm not crazy, my mother had me tested?
He said that a lot, didn't he?
Yes, but did you ever hear the one where his mother had a follow-up?
And she said, I had him tested, yes.
No, she had him tested. She's like, yes, I had him tested. He's not crazy, But boy, did I wish I'd followed up with that specialist in Texas. I think it was specialist in Dallas. It's like, oh, wait. He's not crazy, but you got referred to a specialist?
There's more.
We don't think he's crazy, but he definitely might be.
There's definitely something going on.
Real question is, who's his real father?
Wait, that's not a question. Is that a question?
That's in Young Sheldon.
I have not watched Young Sheldon yet.
But is that his father or his father?
Like she did cheating. His mom did cheating, and then...
I mean, that's been heavily implied that she may have been.
Oh.
I haven't watched all of Young Sheldon. I've only kind of seen it
I've never watched
sporadic.
that show. I'm talking about in the original Big Bang Theory.
It's
It could be. I haven't watched. Yeah, it's
Big Bang Theory.
I haven't. I think I've only watched up through season 8, and I really want to have a sit down somehow, some way.
You haven't seen the end of Big Bang Theory?
I went ahead and I saw the clip, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because I think I would have liked to had like that big, like actually see everything leading up to that moment. But I have seen the clip of the final moment, and I'm like, that's
not a good ending. That was an amazing ending. They did it really well.
They did.
I agree. I have no complaints with that ending.
I wish they had ever figured out a way to do something with Raj.
I felt bad for Raj. I completely agree.
He's the only one who makes zero real progress as a person. Everybody else has all these amazing things, and he just kind of... I don't know. It's probably more realistic that not all of them are going to just hit a home run everywhere. That's statistically...
I mean, Stewart hitting a home run is definitely better and less realistic than Raj actually getting somebody.
Fair.
I think Raj's girlfriend, Emily, was probably the closest they ever had to a decent one for him.
Which one was Emily? Was Emily the dark-haired one?
I think she was the redhead. Kind of creepy?
She was a redhead, yeah.
Oh,
she liked horror movies, and he didn't. And she was into some she was definitely the BDSM type.
Yeah.
They heavily implied that, and he's not at all.
Let's do it in the graveyard. But
yeah, she was pretty gothic too. You could tell in high school she was probably a gothic kid.
But out of all of them that they tried him with, I think she was the closest to what would have been a decent match for the show storyline and such.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
But yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
I think it was a solid show. Sadly, it's over.
It's good. I've rewatched it a couple of times just because it's a good background show when you're doing other stuff.
And Sheldon's Wedding, they pulled that off really well.
I've not seen Sheldon's Wedding yet. I need to watch that.
Didn't Sheldon get in an argument with his Master of Ceremonies, even though he was totally thrilled at who the Master of Ceremonies was?
Of course he would have.
He's always got to add another document to his collection of restraining orders from famous celebrities.
Yeah.
He gets excited. And he's like, God, I get to meet Stanley again at the deposition.
Oh. Yeah.
He said we're going to hang out again at the trial or whatever. I
forgot about that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, you want to come in and watch the Lakers game too? And he's like, okay. And he just runs in.
It's like, okay, he doesn't get it, but yeah, he's Sheldon.
It bothers me that Penny is supposed to be from
Nebraska.
Omaha. Yeah, but she has a Valley Girl accent and doesn't sound anything like someone from the Midwest.
Yeah, they go more than that because they also are like, oh yeah, and they imply she's super rural, but she's from the Omaha, Lincoln area. It's like, dude, I can see Valley Girl accent from that area. The super preppy parts of Omaha or Lincoln.
Yeah, but she didn't grow up like that. She grew up with on a ranch, basically, like a farm.
Well, that's
she talks about that extensively, farm equipment, And her brother had, got into meth and stuff. Like, that's definitely an outside of Omaha. She probably lives
meth is definitely inside of Omaha.
She just says, I'm from Omaha because that's the nearest hospital where she was likely born, but lives in a rural part of Nebraska. She heavily implies it, and her dad is like a total farmer. They those aren't city people.
Yeah, I know, but
she has a Valley Girl accent because she's Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah,
she can't do a Midwest accent.
But
the dead giveaway. Do you know what the dead giveaway is? That makes it not a fucking Midwest accent. It's because when she pronounces words with ing, she doesn't pronounce it ing. She pronounces it EEN. So, like, instead of I'm going, she says I'm going.
Yeah.
That's a very Southern California thing.
I was going to say,
honestly,
I didn't think Midwesterners had an accent. I
ignored the whole Texas thing
yes.
for Sheldon's mom and the Nebraska thing for her because it's like, yeah, they don't get it. And
it's the best they could do. At least she doesn't sound like she's from Tennessee,
Well, no, I'm talking about
they do that a lot on TV shows. They make people from Nebraska sound like rednecks from the South.
But the culture of where they're from too. Like when they write stuff in the show, about the only thing they got halfway decent was the Cornhuskers and the football stuff in season 3. That's about the only thing where we're like, okay, yeah, that is Nebraska.
You kind of can't miss it.
But
that's true.
Everything else, just kind of you're talking general redneck hick area, but Omaha ain't that. And
yeah, but I don't I live in Arlington, but I don't tell people, oh, I'm from Arlington. I just say I'm DFW or Dallas.
Yeah.
But I'm not in Dallas.
It's like when anybody asks me when I'm at work, where are you at? I'm not going to tell them, oh, I'm in, Hanover Park or Carroll Stream. I'm just going to say I'm in Chicago. Because...
Well, that's the same thing because I've got to go to a show up in Rosemont and then another one in Schaumburg. Mm-hmm. And I just say I'm going to Chicago.
Yep.
Because even though it's way not Chicago, it's...
What?
I mean,
they're only in
Chicago.
I mean, Rosemont is basically a 15 to 30 minute drive, depending on where in Rosemont from the airport. If you're going to O'Hare, you're about 30 to 45 for Schaumburg. But from downtown, you're close to an hour on either.
Yeah.
45
that's normal
to an hour.
for a metroplex. Omaha's not really a metroplex. It's,
it's getting there.
Million people.
Yeah, million-ish. Omaha is getting big, and it's starting to, I'd say, give it 10 to 15 years, and Omaha and Lincoln will be like one big metro.
I'm just saying, when Penny says she's from Omaha, that's fine, but I think that's at worst a writer's oversight, or at best it's her just referring to the nearest city that someone would probably know because it's on the map. So she probably said Omaha, but lives 30 minutes outside of Omaha on a 120-acre farm. That's entirely possible.
It looks like Omaha, so Omaha, not Bellevue or any of the others, is 843,000.
Yeah.
But then again,
you've
got... That's just Omaha, so... Oh, wait, they say the metro area. Huh. I wonder where they go and say, hey, yeah...
Look up population of Omaha proper.
Yeah, let's try that. Because I think...
Metro is an important stat, but if you're talking Omaha proper, that's going to be like the seat,
Interesting. Now this is saying 1.05 million as of 2019.
Okay, that's about what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, though it's... I still hate that I have to drive there to get to an Apple store.
Ugh. Gross.
That's the nearest Apple store.
I get mad when I have to drive more than 20 minutes.
Hey, just be glad you don't live in South Dakota. There's not a single Apple store in the entire
I wake
state
up
of South
every
Dakota.
morning and go, thank God I don't live in South Dakota.
No, there's a lot of
Way too
reasons to
cold.
say thank God I do live in South Dakota, too, if you were.
Oh, I know. My dad and family lived there for a while. I'm very familiar. Sioux Falls is a wonderful town.
Until you start trying to drive around the town and you realize how much it sucks.
I don't know. I'm used to really bad traffic. You should be too.
Yes,
You go
but
into Chicago all the time.
here's the thing. I can do the stuff in my town, I can do the stuff in Sioux Falls, and it takes way longer to do anything in Sioux Falls versus Sioux City. Even if it's the same distance away, just because of the way the city's set up.
Yeah. That's fair. And again, it's not that big. What's Sioux Falls, like 250,000?
It looks like 177K.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew it wasn't big.
But
My family lived there too.
Again, they
Lived
call
everywhere.
Sioux City like 82K, so
then they're saying Sioux City proper versus metro.
yeah.
So you have to look up Sioux City metro population.
Yeah, I still laugh at how Supernatural did those two towns. Sioux Falls, it's a one-horse town with just a police station, library thing. Sioux City, giant metroplex. The fudge?
Sioux City's metro population is 169,000. There are more people in my neighborhood than that.
Yeah, well. You also have some crazy crap going down. Yeah, Sioux
True.
Falls Metro's 265.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
But we have a Chick-fil-A. Sioux Falls doesn't.
Well, shit.
But they also have 2 Five Guys, and we have none.
I thought there was one there. Did that go out of business?
Yeah, more or less. They're like, we're closing down and moving to another location. Cool! No, another location never opened up.
Those lying bastards.
It's been like 5 years or 6.
One or more for each number of guys.
Yeah.
I've lost track of how many Taco Johns that city has. There's so many. And McDonald's, too. There's like one on every block, give or take.
I wish I didn't have to drive 6 hours to get Taco John's.
Taco John's is good.
Agreed.
6-pack and a pound.
Hell yeah.
That's the way to roll. Oh, did I mention that they now have a new version of the 6-pack and a pound?
What's that?
Oh, what?
6-pack and a pound, and then you can get the potato lays larger.
What the fuck?
So it's a 6-pack and more than a pound?
Yes.
Greater than pound? I'm looking this up right now. Let's go to the menu. Favorites. Where are the combo? Here we go. Combos. None of those. Oh, God, I miss this. I really want fucking Taco John's right now.
How far are you going to drive to get some?
Not that far. I can't do it. Not this weekend, but I am planning on. I have to go to Wichita to get Taco John's, and my dad lives there, so every time I'm there, I'm like, "Hey, I'll be right back." I'm not seeing it on their website.
Yeah, basically, if you order a 6-pack and a pound anymore, they want, do you want to enlarge your potato lays, man? And, if you're serving more than one person, there's only one right answer. Yes, please.
No. Here it is. I found it. 6-pack and a pound. What's better than taco? A bunch of tacos. What's better than a bunch of tacos? A bunch of tacos and even more potato olays. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Oh, yeah.
I can get deep dish pizzas from Chicago, but I can't get Taco John's or fucking Rosie's. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, just means road trip time.
It does. It also means I need to
how did
figure out
those frozen
logistics.
Rosies come out?
Oh, that didn't happen. My sister bailed on me.
Ah, lame.
I know. They do it, though. They need 3 days prep, but if you give them an address and pay for what they do is they put the pizzas together and then they shrink wrap them, put them on dry ice, and ship them. Same way that Giordano's does in Chicago.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Yeah, I know I need to do that. I need someone to like go over there and like facilitate it or whatever, so I can pay for it and whatnot. Because they won't take a card over the phone. Someone has to go there physically, I guess. I don't know. It was stupid. But anyway,
we have digressed, and this has been a very interesting question of a podcast. So
yeah, talk about squirreling everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Par for the course.
And we had weird last week.
It's really hard to follow that. So
yeah, I know.
I'm not thinking about it too hard.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back in a few weeks.
Man. Later.